There are some films that will lie and say they're heart-pounding, edge-of-your-seat type of movie. This one actually delivers on that promise, even though they're not promising that in the trailers, that kind of stuff. It is a non-stop movie that continuously goes. Even when it does try to slow down, it still continues. The camera work was magnificent, in my opinion. There's a reason why the director is being nominated for best director and that kind of stuff for this film. The funny thing is, it was released. It was supposed to be released last year in December. All the trailers said December and that. They held it off until January. They did like a limited release in 2 cities for it for the last 2 weeks of December. And then they made it widely released. So technically it's a 2020 movie, but technically it's also a 2019 movie. I've included it on the 2020 list just because 2019 is already over. And I technically saw it in 2020 in theaters, brand new. So, opening wide release. The actors all did great in it. It's like from the supporting cast, it is the guy who played Harry from Kingsman. He was also in Bridget Jones's movies. The guy who played Sinestro, and he's also in Shazam, the bad guy, is in it. The guy who played Moriarty in Sherlock is in it, as well as Benedict Cumberbatch, the guy who played Sherlock. And those are the supporting characters that I realized that can remember in the movie. I thought the score was wonderful. I loved it. I know other people are saying how they didn't like the score very much, like they thought it was too much. I thought it was perfect. I thought it was great, in my opinion. I loved the score. I loved the camera work in it, the acting, as I said, everything. It was basically one of those few times where I can say I can give the movie an A. It's very rare. And the funny thing is, I can go on and on about how much I hate a movie, but when I like a movie, I can't really describe that much. It's just one of those movies that, in my opinion, I know some people are going to hold off. Some people have seen it pirated. Some people have seen it or won't see it until it hits like DVD. This is one of those movies, in my opinion, where you have to see on the big screen. It's one of those films that needs to be experienced. A part of watching this movie is the experience. I'm hoping that it will overflow when it does come out on 4K. I'm hoping that the experience will overflow into the TV, but something tells me it may not. Maybe one of those films that it was great watching it in theaters because of the experience and everything, but it overloads your mind and everything and your sensories and all that kind of stuff. But when you get home and you rewatch it, it's going to be, okay, it's still a good movie, but it's not going to be one of those ones where, yes, go watch this movie, you have to, and that kind of stuff. My only problem with it is you could definitely tell that the rats and the birds were CG. But, in all honesty, I can see them doing that because even though you can train a rat and you can train birds, you can't really train them to do things properly when they're trying to shoot in one continuous shot. Because, if the animal screws up, you got to restart from the beginning, even if the actors are doing great. It had a surprise in it for me, which I will give you a warning for. 5, 4, 3, 2. Spoiler warning. I knew one of them was going to die, one of the two, because the trailers in the background, you can see like the back of one of the people's heads. And you can tell, okay, one of them's alone. Why? I thought that the brother was going to survive because the other guy was talking about how he never wanted to go home again because he hated going home because he didn't think he could ever go home again and everything. And usually those type of people are the ones that die in war movies and that kind of stuff. But I guess since this one's based on reality, they're not going to do that type of stuff because the real guy did die. The guy, the brother died. And you think he would have learned his lesson from the first time he tried to save when his friend tried to save not the Nazi, because it was World War I, the German the first time? That's when he died. Then, towards the end of the film, he tries to be nice and keep one of the Germans alive instead of letting him scream. And then the guy screams anyway. So you think he would have learned that the first time and covered the guy's mouth and killed him. As I said, I know some people are saying it falls apart at the end, but I don't see it because the end of the movie, it still continues to be shot and done everything the way it is. It gets to the point, and it looks like the general isn't going to believe him, and then he does, and then it's just the slow build or the slight build of him continuing to go look for the brother because he promised his friend he would find his brother before he died. And he does. He goes, looks for him, he finds him. It's the guy who played Robb Stark on Game of Thrones. And he hands the guy the brother's jewelry that he took off of him and his dog tag. Like his personal effects. And then asks him if he can write his mother. And he goes, sits down and has a well-deserved rest because he's been going non-stop. The only rest he had was when he was knocked unconscious, when he got a large head wound in the back of his head from falling downstairs. He also shot somewhere, but I'm guessing it just grazed him. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. What did you think of 1917? Or have you seen it? Have you not seen it? This is going to be one of the ones that I will definitely be buying when it comes out. I'll also be buying the score, because I love the score, as I said. It's a shame on YouTube, because of copyright, you can't play scores, try to talk about it, because I probably would have done that. I probably would have gone into talking about how certain movie scores, how great they are and that kind of stuff, but you try to do that, and your channel will get copyright claimed and pulled, and it ain't worth it. And after all the time it takes, you gotta clip the music in, you gotta talk about it and everything, so thanks for watching, and see you next time.